What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the A7E podcast. Guys, this is your host, Jiggadrin. We are in episode 18 today. Guys, I have a very special guest today. I would like for him to introduce himself.
Hey guys, my name is Roosevelt, Hernandez. Obviously, I have a lot of people following me on Instagram, right? I would like to think I have a good amount of following.
Yeah.
So your boy Blessed Reckless. So I'm from Far / San Juan. So if I cross the street,
Yeah.
it's like that. But I'm essentially from San Juan.
Okay.
But I live in Far.
Okay. And your whole life?
Well, I mean, if we start off
Yeah.
whole life, well, let's just throw this out there. I start off in the valley.
Yeah.
I've been
There
here
you
my whole
go.
life. Yeah.
Good. So for those of you that don't know, because I know I got some listeners from like Florida and whatnot. The Valley and Sicily consist of quite a bit of cities, like very close sister cities. So it's like kind of like what you said. It's like San Juan, but like you take a step over, Far. Like all the cities are so close, and they're relatively big, like for their respective area. All right.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest area here is McAllen. And usually when I speak to people like from outside of town, and they're like, "Where you from?" I don't even bother to be like Edinburgh. I just be like McAllen, right? Because that's like the biggest city next to us. In case they look us up on the map. But cool, man. So first of all, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, man.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm very grateful that you reached out. I love that people are able to reach out to me and just kind of even bring up the opportunity to to come on. And I'm more than happy to have anybody on. I love to speak to people as much as possible. So thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So yeah, man, tell me a little bit about yourself. So yeah.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I always throw this out, man. I'm a dad.
Okay.
So, I only have one child. I'm a father to a 5-year-old, and man, that kid is my life, bro.
Yeah.
So, that's the most important thing I always like to mention before anything else. I'm a dad.
Yeah.
So, I have 3 sisters.
Okay.
So let's throw that out there. I'm the only guy in the family.
Oh, really?
I have 3 sisters.
You the youngest?
Nah, bro.
Okay.
I mean, I wish.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I wish. I'm actually. I want to consider myself the middle child, but
Yeah.
I probably, people if they hear like, nah, you're not the middle child.
Okay.
I'm 20. I'm 28. I have an older sister that's 31, 32. Yeah, I'm a bad brother, bro. I forgot.
Yeah.
I have a 27-year-old sister, and then I actually have a sister that just turned 20. She's in the army, so she's the youngest one, and she's out there. So shout out to her. You know what I mean?
Awesome, man. How long has she been in the army?
Excuse me. Need a bird, bro. This drink, bro.
Yeah, I get you.
She's been there. Well, right now she's doing training, but she graduated, a couple of months back, and right now she's in California. So she's already doing her, her duties.
Yeah.
So that's her right now.
Cool.
So.
Is that something that she was like really?
Oh
interested
yeah,
in?
man.
Wow.
Like high school, ROTC.
Okay.
You already know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What about you? How you feel about that?
In a way, I'm scared for her, but then I have to always, keep faith that she's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether she's out there or wherever she may be.
Yeah.
I'm her big brother. So it kind of like it worries me, but I have to trust that she's gonna be okay. She's an adult as well.
Yeah.
So.
Are you guys pretty close? Like all the siblings, or?
I want to say, yeah, that's good. That's a good question. Check it out. So, I'm closest to the younger ones.
Okay.
The older one, she kind of does her own thing, not because but it's just I was in high school when my younger sister, so I got to share the experiences, high school and stuff. So, the 27-year-old, me and her are like bond. Like
Awesome.
you see her at the gym, you're gonna see me in the gym.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So things like that. The younger one, she kind of like, I guess I was her like role model in a way too, because I was the one like, come on, you gotta do this and that, and she kind of like tomboy now. So,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing for sure I will mention. Like everything she has, like the little influences are kind of like me. Like,
Nice, man.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, that usually happens whenever siblings are that close. I know I got I do like to talk about like my brothers. We're pretty close. I have he's 18 now, so I'm 29, right? So that's a big gap. And my older brother is he's 34.
Okay.
Right. So our gap between our youngest brother, which is both of our youngest brother, is quite big, but somehow, we've managed to, keep a close bond, and that's something that, isn't very rare. Even the smallest brother and the oldest brother have a very close bond, and we enjoy that quite a bit. So it's kind of awesome to hear, when siblings have that, that type of bond, and they actually, enjoy each other. Because I've heard stories, from other families, and it's natural. It happens. I mean, I would be lying to everybody if I told you guys that from the very first day, like, me and my brothers were phenomenal, right? It's like, no,
Right, yeah.
like, we all had our fights and whatnot, but I think at the end of the day, like, I don't know what it is, but I think most of us, or everybody, like, as a sibling, kind of respects their spot in the chain, kind of thing.
Right.
And so we've always gotten along.
That's cool, man. I mean, I've always wanted to have a brother, but the way I see it is like my younger sisters are like my brothers.
Yeah.
Because they're just like me in some aspects, but they're kind of a little bit different.
Cool.
But if you get to meet them, you would see, like, or people that actually know us, they're like, yeah, he's right about that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
cool, man. So I know that. So looking at your Instagram, right? So this is the first time we've met.
yeah, for sure.
So looking at your Instagram, you're obviously a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Right. So, man, you got some very impressive stuff going on your Instagram. So tell me a little bit about kind of like your journey on bodybuilding, like why even bodybuilding, like why'd you get into it, and whatnot.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so check it out. So the whole bodybuilding thing came about. Honestly, it sounds funny, man, but everyone starts somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So I always like to mention that, like, hey, don't look at the next person that's, the people I thought were big back in the day were not so big.
Yeah.
Because now, like, obviously now you see that, like, oh, like, you see it a complete different way. Like, okay, they were just like, overweight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started on YouTube, bro.
Okay.
YouTube, I started watching, man, like, everyone that started off a long time ago, is, my age or our age group, they watched the Hodge twins. They watched, all those, Chris Jones, all the Mark Lobliner, like, all the old school, like, YouTubers. Everyone was watching them. And, as a kid, I was like, oh, man, I want to get big like that. I want to look good. But it really, really came about. My younger sister was on the competed before I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the 27-year-old competed in, I think it was figure. I want to say it's women's figure. So, yeah, she looked really, really good. At that time, I was doing, the whole MMA thing.
Okay.
Because I wrestled in high school, and what I thought was really cool was, being an athlete after high school, and I always promised myself, I'm not gonna let myself go, man. Like,
yeah.
Like, I do not want to get, just throw myself away out there. Like, you're an adult now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the whole wrestling thing in high school was like, it kind of like my pathway to like, like, hey, man, like, let's continue doing something. I didn't really think I was gonna be good at wrestling, but turns out I really was.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, oh, yeah. My English teacher was like, come on, man, like, try it out. And I was like, nah, man, I don't like that little tight thing you guys wear.
Is that the only option when people wrestle?
In high school, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's like, nah, the singlet, don't worry about that. Turns out I ended up going to practice one day, and we did this thing called live drills where, they put you on the mat and, like, you get to, like, go live, like,
yeah.
In other words, like, just full on. And they put me against a guy that has been there, like, since, man, like, I don't want to say, like, years, right? But, like, this dude was experienced.
Yeah.
He's been there since he was a freshman. And mind you, it was my senior year when I tried out.
Okay.
So, yeah, I went in there and I ragdolled him. They were like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this guy's good, So, from there, I was like, okay, cool. I mean, obviously, I played football.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of track, but
Here in the Valley, right?
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
I went to PSJ High.
PSJ
The
High?
Bears.
Oh, Bears. Okay.
Yeah, the Bears.
Cool.
Yeah, the real
The
PSJ.
real-
Yeah, the original. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. But, yeah, man, that's where I got everything from. Like, sports as a kid, once an athlete, always an athlete.
Yeah.
Whether you did soccer, doesn't matter what you did. I still consider everybody an athlete.
Yeah.
Like, if you did a sport in school, so.
For sure. So then after wrestling, you mentioned something about MMA. Did it go from MMA to, to dedicated bodybuilding, or how was that?
Yes, that's what happened.
Okay.
So I was doing, I was taking jujitsu. You know,
Awesome.
I know a lot of the local fighters here, and some of the people we know are actually in the UFC right now.
Really?
Yeah, so
Who?
I can get. I say who?
Wait.
So shout out to the Urbina brothers. They're from Westlaco. They're wrestlers.
Okay.
They have 3 guys straight in there. We got Diego. You know, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with FAR.
A little
Like,
bit.
you know, I know you've seen the gym there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gym?
Well, right next to the FAR gym, before there was a training facility there.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got one of the guys is, you know, has their own gym there, and a lot of the STFC fighters here from the Valley, they train there.
Okay.
So I have a lot of guys on my Instagram that I follow, and yeah, man, that was pretty much my thing, man. Just like, hey, well, the UFC is the closest thing to you know, wrestling. So I was like, let's try some jujitsu, and yeah, man, it was going well. You know, everything was going well. I was training. My biggest thing was my knee got kind of like messed up. It got mangled rolling with, you know, obviously there's guys that are bigger, heavier, and they kind of put a stop, a little pause, and I was like, ooh, I got scared. I was like, yeah, boy, you don't got insurance. I was like, yeah, I gotta take it easy. So I ended up going to my sister's show. It was local. Her first show was here. I went and I saw her on stage, and I saw what she looked like, and I was like, whoa, she looks, you know, sick, you know, like little sis looks pretty good, you know what I mean? So from there, I was just like, okay, let's do some, you know, reassessing here. Obviously, you're taking it easy on the knee. Let's go back to the gym. Let's see what happens. Excuse me, I'm burping, bro.
No worries.
Let's go back to the gym. Let's see what happens. Let's start working on our body. Just slowly. It was recovering. I was like, I'm going to recover, you know, just take it easy. Little by little, I started sliding into the dark side. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's just start building.
Yeah.
Let's see how good I could get. And yeah, I'm maintaining, and there's different levels to this.
Yeah.
I know I saw Jazzy, I saw her podcast,
Right.
and I was, you know, hearing her and talking about, you know, how, you know, everyone has their little something they do to keep themselves like mentally stable.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a good way to put it.
And for me, that's what it was. I was like, I felt really good going to the gym. I like that feeling I got, like going to the gym and just, you know, whether it was a stressful day, I think we all need that. You know, you find something to cope with it, and that's what really helped me, especially like mentally. So I was like, man, I'm always stressed out, like, or I'm always like upset, or things bother me, and I rather take it out on something,
On the weights, huh?
yeah, than take it out on someone else,
Yeah.
where I can end up in trouble, or better yet, you know, well, down here it's pretty bad, man. You can, you know, either jail or, yeah. So, yeah, that it really just took me to a complete different path.
Okay.
And I just never looked back after that. Honestly, I was just like, you know what, let's do this. And yeah, man.
So how old were you when you like decided this is it?
Okay. How old was I?
Yeah, how old were you? I mean, how old are you now? 28?
28.
Yeah, so how old were you when you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do?
Oh, okay. So check it out. This was actually last year around this time.
Okay.
Last year around this time. Wait, no. I want to say the story the right way, so I don't want to say that. Yeah, no. I'll say this though. My first show was last year, June 18th.
Okay.
Right? So that was the first show when I actually stepped on stage and I found out what it felt like. I was like, ooh, okay, this is kind of scary. But before I even take you through all that, something bad always happens, or things always get worse before they get good.
Yeah.
You know, I know you've heard that before.
100%.
It's like, oh man, like don't worry, like, you know, you're trying to give someone advice, like, hey man, things always get, you know, worse before they get better, or, you know. So I'm gonna mention this because I feel like this is the very important part of my story.
Okay.
I was married for 6 years, right? So I'm actually divorced now. One of the biggest impacts I had was finding out it was over. You know what I mean? Like when you get the paper sent to you, and you're like, oh man, boom, you've been served. Whoa, like that just really hit me. So I'm not gonna say I'm a saint, or because nobody's perfect.
Nope.
So I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with that. I'm not even gonna hold back. But yes, March 2020 was when I found out it was game over.
Okay.
Around the same time the pandemic was going on.
That's right.
When it started. So I'm at that time I'm a student. I'm doing virtual learning, virtual classes, and you could already imagine how stressful that is. You're watching the guy try to teach you, the professor try to teach you, and you're just like half asleep, dead in the couch. You can't go anywhere because everything's on lockdown. So yeah, man, just horrible time, bro. Just try to like picture yourself in that situation. Yeah. You're doing school. You can't go out anywhere. Most people be like, let's go out and get a drink. Let's go. But first of all, I don't like to do that.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anywhere to go to actually cope with my, emotions. I was like, man, what do I do? Like, what do you do? You're at home. Okay, whoops. I moved back with family, right? Yeah. Moved back with family, and I'm there, doing homework. And one day it all just piled up on me, bro. I was like,
just hit you at once?
Yeah, it hit me like hard. Like I was just like, okay, so you're doing school. You don't have a job. You have a son. Now you have to pay child support. Now there's so many things started piling up at once. I'm like, oh, okay, well, shit's getting real. Like life is getting real. Like, what do? You get two options. My mom told me this. You have two options. You either just fold and just, let everyone try to give you pity and try to, you go that option where you just, oh, it's going to be okay. Or you grab your nuts and you be like, all right, it's time to man up. Like, yeah. I'm not going to just stay here and just, not do anything about it. Like I'm a grown man. So that's what I did. I took that option B. I was like, I like that one.
Yeah.
So what I did, finish school. Obviously everything's still on lockdown or whatever. Finished school, started going to the gym. And you meet people, I believe you meet people for not just for no reason. Mm-hmm. People come into your life for a specific reason. Yeah. Most of the time, it's you learn something from them.
100%.
So I made friends in the gym. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to a complete different gym. I'm going to go to the Golden McAllen. Just start there, start my journey there, and just see wherever this takes me. Mm-hmm. Every day I started going alone. My Instagram, bro, I had like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. This sounds sad. I had like 28 followers.
Really? Okay.
28. I didn't know anybody else besides the people from like high school, but yeah, they're all in their own world. Yeah. So I was like, okay. I had one follower though. That follower was always like interacting with me. Okay. It was a female, and she lifts as well. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Long story short, that person became a friend, and we started tag teaming the gym together. I was like, she was going through something similar, and
same gym.
Okay. Something similar, and she vented to me. I vented to her, and yeah, like friendship from there started. And before I knew it, like my mind was just like, okay, whatever you have to do throughout the day, whether you have stuff scheduled, do what you got to do, then make your way to the gym, kill it with the homie, whatever today is, whatever split we're doing, whether it's leg day, chest, whatever. And then, boom, nothing else mattered but going to the gym, not worrying about anything else, just handle the business and then go home and refuel, shower, repeat, whatever. Yeah. So that part right there is the most important part for me in my story, because obviously you're heartbroken. Like you don't, there's no way to phrase that or try to like rename it. Yeah. Like you're heartbroken. You got dumped, bro. Like you got dumped. Yeah. Like you took an L.
A big one.
Yeah. Big L, bro. So you took an L, nasty L. Again, let's not go through the thing here and start mentioning other stuff, but you took an L. You don't have a job still. You just freshly, you just finished school. Now it's, what are you going to do about it, right? Like, so obviously I'm still hurt, even though like months have passed by already. Like it already hit you regardless. There's no way you can change that. Like
Right.
it's written in stone. So, um, I was like, you know what? Let's whatever. That friend, small world, especially here in the valley. Like I want to mention that in the valley, everybody knows everybody some way somehow.
Yeah, I agree.
Like whether it's social media, whether it's the neighbor. Did you know that neighbor is cousins with? Yeah, so and so. It always happens like that. Long story short, that friend I was gymming with, her coach owns a shop, and it just so happens that when she's like, "Hey, let's go to my coach's shop. I gotta go pick up some supplements." Okay, we went to the shop, right? I get off and I just find out that I've known this guy before. Like as you know, when I was 18, I was working at a gym. It's no longer, I don't want to say up and running.
Yeah.
It's dead.
Yeah.
That was the gym at Uptown. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. It was like a private facility here in McAllen. So
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
so I would see that guy training people, and he was real serious. And he was big, and I was like, oh, okay, that guy looks good. And that guy would give me advice here and there, like, hey, this is the way you do this. This is the way you do that. Like when he would see me working out, I guess he would try to like give me pointers, and I appreciated it, because obviously I'm little. I was like, oh yeah, of course, like yeah, for sure. So it just so happens that it was that same guy, and he got me a job there. He's like, oh, you can work for me, and
At the supplement shop.
at the supplement shop.
Okay.
He was like, oh, I need someone here, and I don't have anyone, and she goes, well, don't you need a job? Like, don't you need a job?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's not what I went to school for, but I need money. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I started working for him. Long story short, we're going to fast forward a little bit. Let's fast forward. He became my coach.
Okay. Lifting coach?
In general, like coach for like when you're on prep.
Okay.
So he became my coach, and that's till this day I'm still with him.
Okay, cool.
Not working for him, but I'm still with him.
Yeah.
That's my coach. He is also my sister's coach now, and my brother-in-law's coach. So we have 3 bodybuilders in the family.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah, 3 bodybuilders in the family, and it's weird, man. I'm pretty sure you've seen them, or you might know who they are if you were to see what they look like. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
small world, yeah. So
I know. So that's one thing that I know that this town is small because I've experienced it as well, but I also more so like from other people's experiences, because I'm actually born and raised from Florida, right? So it's
Florida.
Like, 20 years, moved here about 8 years ago. But like I just recently stationed, and what I mean by that is within those 8 years that I've been here, like I've been up and down to Austin, like different parts of Texas. So it's like I wasn't here in the valley like consistently.
Right.
Until this like last year and a half. So so sometimes it's like when people talk to me about like how certain things or how like certain things are in the RGV or their experiences, like I try to relate, and I do a little bit, but then it's like, I've also haven't been here consistently enough
to understand.
Yeah, to understand
the culture.
Yeah.
The culture. That's a big one. I'm gonna go ahead and just say the culture here is completely different. If you were to go to Houston, Austin, Dallas, completely different, brother. And I'll be honest with you, the way it is down here, it's hard to say this because I'm Hispanic, but I don't know what it is, bro. But down here, it's like it's more envy in a way.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing something successful or you're trying to do something, you have more of the naysayers, like, nah, man, don't do that. Why are you gonna do that? Like, don't waste your time, bro. Like, like, that doesn't really work out. Or like you're doing something successful, like, he looks good, but there's always the but.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, he wants to open up this or that. Like, he has money for it now. He's been saving up. Yeah, he shouldn't do that. No. It's real like that. Or this is the real reason why a lot of people from the valley there, born and raised here, end up leaving to Houston or Austin, because the people up there, the culture, they're more accepting. Like, yeah, let's go ahead and let's make it happen. And down here it's more like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't want. Nah,
That's interesting you say
it's
that.
tough.
No, that's interesting you say that because I've heard that. I've heard that from other people as well. And like I said, that's one. So, what's what's crazy is that I love meeting new people. I never deny the opportunity to do that.
For sure.
Whether it be on a podcast or just on the street or whatever in the gym. But I haven't been here long enough to experience that personally yet. But
Right.
I've heard that from multiple people that have been here their whole life.
Oh yeah.
And but I completely know what you mean, in regards to the Austin culture as well, because I lived in Austin for an hour and a half, a year and a half.
That's dope.
And it is different. It is different. It's almost black and white, and I don't know why. But that's just the reality of it. So let me ask you this: what so in regards to that type of culture that you're talking about, do you think that's a little bit more from like the older generation, or do you also get some kickback from the same generation, younger? How does, in your experience, for the most part?
Okay, so I want to say it's primarily the older gen. I believe it's a cycle. It gets passed down.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I think. I don't think people do it on purpose. It's just something about Hispanics down here, bro. It's like it's different. Because obviously I've gone to like Austin. I've gone to gyms, and you see other Hispanics out there, and it's like, oh hey, like it's different.
Yeah.
They're like, oh hey, what's up? What's going on? And you don't get the same feeling you get. You could read people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm real observant when it comes to like meeting new people, talking to people. I study their habits. Like I'm real like that. Like it's like trust me. Like you're like, oh, why is he so quiet? No. I talk a lot. I just trust me. I'm watching. I'm seeing what's going on. Tendencies is what I look for. I'm like, okay, this person's like that. Okay. So I want to say it's more the older gen.
Yeah.
The new gen, they're trying to switch the culture.
Yeah.
They're trying to break the cycle. And what I mean by that is you see more people on younger people. It's younger and younger are opening up businesses.
Yeah.
Opening up their own gyms down here. Everyone's trying to do something, and I applaud them for that. Like I like one day I hope I could. Excuse me, I'm gonna burp.
Yeah.
Own a gym or own something. I could put my title on it. Like hey, like
that you own.
That's mine.
Yeah.
That's mine. So I feel like it's kind of slowly changing for the better.
Yeah, and I think you're right, and I think that kind of comes naturally for the most part. Like over time, it's like if it's something that is passed down to the generations, which I kind of agree, especially in this area that we're so close to the Mexican border, right?
Yeah.
And so primarily the demographics here are Hispanics, and for the most part, it's like your traditional Hispanic, right? You kind of they're related more to the hard work,
Right.
the bent over for hours, and I speak that from my parents specifically, right?
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to have parents who went through that, like that type of work, that type of in the sun beating on them for hours, but somehow in their mind they were still open enough to support what to them might be like crazy ideas or ambitions that their sons had, right? And there wasn't like so much of hey, don't do that type of thing, or that's not how you do it. So I was fortunate enough to always have that support, and I think that that's kind of the difference between when newer generations like us want to seek out and do things. It's like whether we like it or not, the majority of our life is influenced by our parents, right? For those that are fortunate enough to to have them or whatnot. But so it's like it is passed down, but you also have the decision to make your choice whether or not you do go through with something, regardless of what your parents tell you, right? You gotta I think the biggest part of being your own human and experiencing life as it is taking your own decisions, like taking into account what people tell you, the concerns they have for you, whether it be with good or bad intentions, but at the end of the day, reevaluate your own life and then just kind of making that decision for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, so I think and I think you're completely right on. I think a lot of the younger generation now are trying to go a different route.
Yeah.
And I think they're realizing, and I think most people are realizing that, there is a different route. I think the older generation didn't realize that there was another route for the most part. So I think it is difficult for them to look at us, or, people that are trying to start a business, a gym, things like that, and be like, "Hey, good for you. That's awesome."
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So they didn't go through it. So it's like seeing something that brand new to them worries them, but also it could be out of envy as well, because I've heard that. I've heard that from other people.
But here's the thing, though. I think that here's the thing, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Real quick, bring the mic kind of aiming towards you.
Right here.
Like like kind of the thing like right here at your.
I got you. Okay. So is that good?
Yeah, that's fine.
So I honestly think that when it comes to stuff like that, it's new. How could I word it, man? I'm trying to word it like. I've heard it before. Someone told me the same thing. It's like people fear what they don't understand.
Correct. 1,000%.
So something new, something they're not accustomed to. They're not comfortable with something new. Like, oh, wait, but what if you fail? No. Let's not think about the negative here. Let's just go with the flow. Mm-hmm. Take it one day at a time. And I feel like you have to not be afraid to fail. Whether you fail or you don't, you got to be uncomfortable. 100%. Throw yourself out there. Think about it like this, man. Salesmen. I know a lot of people that are really, really good salesmen. And you know what they have that's really, really good? It's this. Mm-hmm. They got that. You could talk to people. Like, I meet a lot of people every day. Whether it's at the gym, man, you can be anywhere, man. HEB, for example. Mm-hmm. You go buy groceries, you see people. Every once in a while, you're gonna, there's something's gonna happen where you're like, oh, excuse me or whatever, and anything can switch. All it takes is like a smile, or like a wave, or at the gym, like you see someone, when I've noticed this at the gym, a lot of guys can relate to this. Yeah. You walk in the gym, you have the headphones on, a guy looks at you, you look at him, you're like, you give that no, what's good, bro? Like, what's up? So that's one of the things I like to mention too. Like, you got to be not afraid of like the uncomfortableness, or man, let's make it even easier. A lot of women I see, they're uncomfortable to go work out in the freeway area. Mm-hmm. Because you see a lot of big guys, mm-hmm. Scary guys, or like they see other women, they're wearing crop tops and mm-hmm. They got the whole set, you know what I mean? And they're like, I don't think I look good yet. Like, no, like, hey, if you look around the gym, everyone's here for that same exact reason. Correct. They all want to better themselves. If anything, we should be supporting each other. Yeah. And another thing I like to say is like, hey, I've noticed that the trend here is like, especially on Instagram, a lot of girls are so supportive to each other. Like, oh, hey, girly, like, you look really good. In the comments, a guy posts a picture. Nah, fam. Like, you're not going to get any comments from guys. You're not going to get any, like, support unless you're either getting ready for a show, you're getting ready for a fight, it's your business. Other than that, you're not going to get support from, like, a male.
What do you think? Why do you think that is?
What? I mean, come on, man. It's a guy thing. I want to say it's a guy thing. It's like, oh, man.
So I think you're right. You're spot on with the girl support. Like, they have,
they'll post each other on their stories.
Yeah, and they'll go back and forth and, like, and genuine support. And I think you're right. Guys kind of hesitate a little bit. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm going to be transparent. I've had that feeling as well. But what I've kind of told myself, like, recently, probably, to be honest with you, a conscious decision, like, within the past couple of months, I was like, there's no reason for me to feel like that. It's like, I'm going to support more people, like, whether it be with a like or comment or anything like that. And obviously that's a little easier on social media, right? Because it's not like a physical interaction. But I don't know why that happens with guys. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, it's like, we will.
And it's real. But I made a conscious decision to, kind of like more things, interact a bit more, support a bit more, especially with anyone specifically. I'll do that, but more with people here in the area. Yeah. And also, I think our interactions can be better as well. Like, as guys,
it's more of an ego guy thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we do it like out of like.
No, I don't think it's bad intent or malicious.
It's just like, hey, like just like the nod. The nod's a simple way of respect in a way like hey man, like
Yeah.
what's going on. Girls, I don't know. I've never really looked at or spotted a girl look at another girl and be like, "What's up?" No, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So that's one that's I've always wondered like, what do they think? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, that's interesting. Yeah,
So
I agree, and I definitely think that yeah, you're right. We could all show a little bit more support. I mean, even guy to guy or guy to girl, it doesn't matter. Everybody's kind of trying to do their own thing, and everybody's in a way, going through a certain struggle, whether it be like on a entrepreneurship or just trying to better themselves, build. Just trying to be a better version. I think a lot of people like to say, well, I post, but I don't do it for likes. It's like, I post, but and if they don't like it, I don't care. I think that's true. I think
partial.
yeah, partial for sure. But you would be, I wouldn't say lying, but I think there's like a double-edged sword there where it's like when people do appreciate your posts and things like that you put and you get some support, it does makes you feel a little better. Like it makes you feel, a little bit more motivated. You kind of see that, people are watching your journey that you, for the most part, are working so hard for. Right. And when you see like some appreciation,
it's like, okay, I actually do got it like that. Yeah. Like, but I will say this.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'll mention this because I feel like this is important. Not really important, but like I know a lot of people want to say this but don't say it, especially guys. Check it out. This is where I'm headed. This is the path I'm headed. So you know how you said right now, you mentioned like, oh, guys, and they show support to other guys sometimes. It's rare, but they do show it, whether it's a like or whatever the case may be. Girls on girls. But here's the thing. I've noticed this new era of like social media. Like if I were to go and like a girl's picture, at least in our generation or this generation that's coming, that's under us, right under us, they'll be like, oh, nah, this dude wants me. Nah, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, bro, like, I'm trying to support you. Like, hey, you look good.
That's actually real.
I'm being honest with you. Like, I'm supporting you. Like, you look good. Now, here's another thing. Another thing I like to I always mention this to my buddies, man. I'm like, look, listen, what does it mean to you when a girl likes your picture? And I let all my boys answer, like, oh, what do you think? What do you think? And they all give me a different response, right? But the one thing we could all agree on as guys, I'm speaking for guys right now, not women. Yeah. When a guy likes a girl's picture, it's either, I want to say two things. No, three. I'll say three. All right, check it out. It's either they know you and they're like, oh yeah, she I know her, here's a like, boom, whatever, family picture or whatever, like she's there and she looks happy, whatever, like, support. Two, they're into you. Like guys are gonna, they're gonna hear me with this one, like, you like the girl, she looks, hey man, she looks good, hey, like, or it's both.
Wow.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
that was your third one?
Yeah. I always hit them with that one. They're like, well, yeah, that is true. It's either you're friends with them, real good friends, and you're supporting them, like, oh, good for them, whatever. It's just a picture. We don't know. Number two, like, oh, I find her attractive. Like, usually, like, trying to, that's one. And then three, it's both of them. Like, I know her and I'm feeling her like that, So not a lot of guys will admit that, but when I mention it to my friends, at least my boys, they're like, dude, you're right, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I'm not even gonna front.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair for the most part. Is there any situation, so that you said that's one of three, right? Or sorry, one of the three.
Right.
I think when, like, I mean, not to kind of like sidetrack too much. What's that?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were pointing at the camera.
No.
What about like whenever, like in a relationship or something like that? Like, so is there some boundaries like within relationships to support? Now, look, this is my to support
go ahead,
another girl, right? Like when you're in a relationship, it's like genuine support. It's like, is that something that should kind of be? I mean, everything should be communicated in a relationship for the most part, but it's like, I feel like,
as far
because you gave two reasons, right? Wait, because one reason being that it's genuine support.
Of course,
yeah.
yeah.
And then the other one be that a guy could be into the girl.
Oh yeah,
which is fair. So I think because those are two real options, I think when you're in a relationship and you give a support like to somebody else, your spouse,
okay,
a guy's spouse takes it for it being the second option.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
I don't think that's like that all the time, but I think it's possible. Now, if you are in a relationship, I think it all just comes down to it's a matter of just communication.
Boundaries.
Yeah, for sure.
Fellas, boundaries.
Yeah.
Trust me, because I always wanted to talk about stuff like that, like just because I feel like it's touchy subjects that people don't like to talk about unless someone else brings it up.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching a show, whether it's MTV something or whatever, and like, oh, bro, right, and everyone's like, yeah, dude, I think the same thing. All right. I feel like if you're in a relationship, this is just the way I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not speaking for anybody here, just for myself. If you're in a relationship, let's just say I'm in a relationship, supposedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a relationship, and my girlfriend or whatever goes and likes some dude's pictures. I feel like, hey, bro, what are you doing? What we doing? What we doing? If I'm not doing that, why are you doing that?
Okay, that's fair.
Like, do you know the guy? Because then it comes down to like the 2-3 reasons I just said.
Yeah.
It's either like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
And then some people take it as, oh, that's cheating. Well, I don't necessarily think it's cheating, but I think, yo, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Where do we stand in a relationship? Because, yeah. Or you start, all of a sudden, you start noticing your partner's followers start increasing, but they're not girls and guys. It's just like guys. You're like, hey, man, like, this is... Trust me, like a lot of guys think like this.
Yeah.
I will say that. A lot of guys are like, whoa, real vigilant when it comes to like, let me find out.
Yeah.
Let me find out.
No, I think you're right. I think that's happened at least to everybody, right? For the most part. But also I think it comes from like, I think that if there is like you said, there's boundaries, right? And if your spouse is doing that, but you're not doing it, I feel like there is some there's some potential righteous claim that you can make there, right? And asking, why is it that you're doing that if you don't see me doing it? Now, what happens if you're not doing it, but your spouse tells you, oh, it's because I know him and I'm just supporting? How does that go?
Okay, I mean that's a good reason. Like it all depends on the situation. Obviously, like every person's different. You could obviously know when someone's lying and when they're not.
Okay.
It's like, oh, well, we've been, I've known him since like I was little, and it's just a picture. Now, okay, let's be real here. But if it's, we're going with that scenario.
Okay, yeah.
But she's liking dude's picture and dude's out here showing his abs. Like, come on, fam, you don't have to lie to me. Like, nah, I know since we were in kinder. Like, yeah.
Why are you only liking the ab pictures?
You don't see me liking homegirl's pictures and she's just showing her leg gains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Nah, no.
That right there.
No.
You know what I mean?
I agree. No, that's fair. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think to avoid situations like that, just establish boundaries early on in the relationship. Talk about it. I mean, talk about it. Hey, I do have friends on social media. I mean, I've done it before. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I've talked to my girlfriend about it. I say, hey, I do have girlfriends on social media that I do like to support. I want to give you a heads up in case I do, like any of the pictures. If it makes you feel more comfortable, whatever, I can show you which pictures I like, whatever. And I mean, vice versa. So,
well, it's a little bit too late now. I'll tell you why though, because Instagram took off the likes.
Did they?
Yeah, like I tried going back because sometimes
Wait, what do you mean took off the likes?
Let me explain.
Okay.
So I've noticed recently, I was talking to my sister, I was like, oh, dude, sometimes when you want to save something, it gives you the option where you click on the picture, like the post, and it says, like, save. It's in the corner. You tap on it. You could save it. Well, sometimes I'm too lazy to just do that. I just I'll like the picture, and I was like, I'll have to go through my likes, and I'll find it, because I know I liked it today.
Yeah.
Okay. I was giving an example to my sister. I was like, oh, dude, I saw this. I forgot what it was, bro, to be honest with you. And I tried to go back on it, and it was gone. I was like, yo, gracias, where are the likes? She's like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, they're not there. Like, the post you've liked disappeared.
Really?
Yeah, like you can go through your phone and you're like, whoa, scary. Scary. I'll tell you that. It's scary, bro. I'm not in a relationship,
Yeah.
but whoa.
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't know that.
no, yeah, yeah. I was like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
what? Off topic, but I used to like Instagram back in the day when you would slide it to the left
Yeah.
and they give you the activity feed and you can find out who's liking whose pictures. I don't know if you've ever
Yeah,
noticed.
I think I remember that. That was a while back though, right?
Well, a year
Yeah.
or like a couple of years back,
Yeah.
like you would flip it to the activity and like, damn son, I thought you were asleep. You're liking girls' pictures.
Yeah.
Like I would catch a lot of my boys and I would screenshot and be like, hey bro, what are you doing? So like, hey man, chill out,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we call the after hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go to bed. Nah, you ain't going to
you
bed.
ain't go to bed.
You ain't going to bed, bro.
That's true. Well, that's cool, man. So let's see. Communicate with your partner, guys. That's it for the most part. Communicate. Make sure you guys do your best. It's not easy out here.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough.
It's everybody's lying to you if they tell you that it's easy. But there are potential ways to make
for
it
sure.
easier
For sure.
for the most part.
Don't lie.
Yeah. Do your best not to, right?
Don't lie, fellas.
Yeah. So cool. Let's go to so out of curiosity, I mean, this is kind of something that's been
On your mind.
well, no, not on my mind, viral on social media or
Okay.
things like that.
Go
You
ahead.
ever hear? Did you hear about the whole Laya Thompson thing or Thomas thing?
Oh, bro, I'm glad you brought that up,
Glad
bro.
about that.
Here we go. Here we go.
So just I mean, real quick, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to look at the time, but I'm pretty sure that everybody listening kind of knows for the most part. It's just like a male swimmer, right, that transitioned to a female swimmer after a year on. I might butcher it a little bit. I apologize, but after a year of being on the hormones to change.
The testosterone suppressant?
Yes,
Excuse me.
because I think that was one of the rules that NCAA had was
You have to wait I believe it's a year that you have to wait or be on it before you get to compete.
right. So so she got to compete, with the female swimmers, and she won
Yeah.
first place national championship for the NCAA
Here's
Division 1, of course.
Here's the thing, though. This is my take on it.
Yeah.
I believe everybody should be happy. I was talking to someone on the phone earlier, and I was having this conversation. I was like, hey, look, plain and simple, regardless of where you stand financially, whatever you may be going through, everybody, I feel like everybody should be happy, regardless of the circumstances you're in. I feel like everybody should be happy. I believe everyone should be able to be genuinely happy. If it makes you happy, go for it. Yeah. Do your thing. I support you. Now, if you ask me though, being ranked 642 in the males, going up against males, that was your ranking, 642, right? You transition to be a woman, right? And then you go and you smoke them, and you get first place. 642 to number 1.
In the nation.
In the nation. That is, oh man. Did you want to be a woman? I haven't really read the story, but I'm just going based off of other podcasts I've seen. Okay. Like the Andrew Schultz. I know Joe Rogan hasn't touched on it.
Not yet.
Not yet, but I'm waiting because I know he's going to say something. But if you ask me, I'm more curious to know, was it your plan to become a woman? Like, were you, if that's what your intentions were, regardless of the sport, let's just leave the sports out of it. Cool. I understand. You're doing something, it's like me bodybuilding. Whatever makes you happy, you can do whatever you want, right? But I just don't feel like it's fair for the women that got kicked out. Like, in other words, like, he went to number 1, and let's just say, for example, top 10. If you were in the top 10, you're not in the top 10 no more because
there's one person that came up and took a spot.
Yeah.
I think that is interesting. I think I had a little blank there, but
it's tough.
No, it for the most part, a lot of people were saying like that she was not in the wrong or right. Like you mentioned, she was doing what, whatever made her happy, but that the NCAA should have had better rules to kind of protect the situation like that. Now, I didn't get too deep into that, right? So the NCAA had a rule where essentially, I think is what you mentioned, like being on the suppressant for at least a year. And but I think being, a male for that long or that period of time, and then being on a suppressant for a year, I don't think it kind of balances out, close to the female situation. And so a lot of people will kind of be like, hey, why go at Leah whenever, the NCAA has its own type of rules? And I get it.
I understand.
I don't know if that's something that happens very often. I don't know if that NCAA has run into that before, where they're like, oh, we should have been better prepared. It's like, how do you prepare for something like that if it's the first time that it's happened?
True.
I don't know if it has or has not. True. But if it's, a rare case or something that just happened for the first time, then I assume that it could be difficult. Now, a lot of people are trying to protest the whole competition, right?
Whoa.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to discredit Leah and trying to give the actual congratulations to Emma, who was a second place winner.
Okay.
What I found interesting was that her time was the best, or her third best time in like school history. So it's like, yeah, and she got,
that's crazy.
So a lot of people were kind of upset at that, but then a lot of people kind of take the route of, a lot of people attack a lot of people who have opinions, when it comes to something like that.
It's sensitive.
It's sensitive, but I think a lot of people mix up, the fact that they're mixing up the sport aspect and then the personal life aspect. Personally, in personal life, man, do whatever it is that you want to do.
Of course.
And again, I don't think it's Leah's fault that it even happened or the way it went the way it did. But at the end of the day, it's like, where is the retribution, or where is for the female swimmers that have been working their whole life as a female swimmer?
That's where I was, that's exactly what I mean. I'm just like, I don't think it's fair, because I know, just think about it, man. Olympians, come on, like, since you were a kid, you've been training, or it doesn't matter. I mean, every sport's hard, in my opinion. Every sport has its
100%.
If they weren't hard, everyone would be doing everything. Right. But that's the one thing that really kind of got me. As an athlete, I'm like, whoa, that's not fair, bro. Yeah. Like you just come in here and just smoke everybody. It's too much.
It's interesting for the most part, because I think we're watching something kind of unwind like in front of us, for the first time, and especially at that level, the NCAA National Championship. Ooh. That's a big stage. So it is interesting to kind of see the kickback that the situation got, and also the support the situation got, and to kind of see which route will be taken kind of moving forward. So that'll be interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So for the most part, man, that'll be interesting. I think everything has its moments, especially when something's brand new. So, of course. So let me ask you this, kind of out of curiosity, as a bodybuilder, right? Because you've done shows before.
Yeah.
What do you think that there would be like some advantages, like if a male were to transition to a woman and compete against women in bodybuilding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be some advantages.
Yeah. What would be what would be some of the advantages in that situation?
Okay, so I guess the most common, the first thing that will come to mind is like, let's just say, for example, because there's weight classes.
Yeah.
So let's just say, for example, if, I won't mention the weight classes. I don't want to make it too complicated.
Yeah.
But for the most part, a man, the maturity of the muscle, the age plays factor. Obviously, the muscle bellies would be bigger. You could obviously tell, you have men, broad shoulders. Yeah, the structure is going to be the first thing right after that, like, whoa, yeah, that's a dude. Mm-hmm. Regardless, like I said, I'm not, I'm not against anyone, and what they believe in. They can choose to do whatever they want.
But for the sport, clear
advantages. You could, clear advantages.
That's interesting.
Like, for sure.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that would be like, that's a no-go.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and off the top of my head, man, I just kind of want to mention this. Like, I don't think that was the primary deciding factor for Leah to transition over to a woman. Was like, okay, like, I want to compete in swimming to be first place. That's hard to be like, yeah, that was the reason, because that's a pretty drastic change. I mean, that's a pretty drastic change for someone to do. of the simple fact that they want to, place better in the competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll leave that out there. But so you were mentioning to me actually. Tell me a little bit about the shows that you got coming up.
Okay. Yeah. So, right now I'm on prep.
Okay.
So I am. Well, this past Monday, uh, was I'm 12 weeks out. So they go based off of weeks. It's gonna be in the same. Funny thing is that the first time I ever competed was in Dallas. It was June 18th.
Okay.
Last year.
21.
Yeah, 21. I'm coming back this year to that same exact show.
Mm-hmm.
I did. So it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited. Obviously, progress was made.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think I'm bringing a really really good package this time around. You learn things, you learn a lot. You learn from your mistakes. I've done 2 shows prior to this one coming.
Okay.
So
How did those go?
I did okay. The first show I did well. I placed. I think everybody that going into a show you wanna place.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna like first, second, third. We all want to do that. So first show, obviously I placed. I got first. I felt good. I was like, nervous. Big stage, Dallas. Like the crowd. One thing's for sure is like I'm blind. So me looking into the crowd, the lights are hitting you. Like I couldn't really see anything. All I know is
Really?
I was just like, yeah, just do what we practice.
Yeah.
Go out there, boom. So I got thrown to the wolves,
Yeah.
big show. And I did well. I placed first in my class. Then I also did a second class, which was, I believe, it's a higher weight class. Like I believe it's 10 pounds
Mm-hmm.
heavier, like the next weight class above mine. But I will mention I competed at 143.
Okay.
So I'm a men's open bodybuilder at 143. So it's a bantamweight.
Okay.
Then I did lightweight. I just just for shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
I did my coach was like, let's do that one too. So when I registered, I did that one as well.
Okay.
It was a novice class. It's more for like beginner type, right?
Okay.
But my original class, the one I got first, it was an open. So it's like everybody.
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah, anybody. Yeah. So got first in my class, and then the other class, the novice class, the lightweight, I got third place. But I didn't feel so bad because the people that were on stage with me were also part of my team.
Okay.
So I felt good. And that was their weight class. So I was like, oh, okay, it's me and the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So there was another guy there as well in the lineup, but he wasn't part of our team. But yeah, I kind of felt bad because I got third and he got fourth.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was like, well, I didn't expect to beat him, but I mean, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did a second show. So that was the first show. The second show I did was locally here. And honestly, I want to say I shouldn't have done that show, man.
Really?
I shouldn't have. And I'll tell you why. I had so much stress weighing on me. These shows are pricey. I'm pretty sure Jazzy mentioned that.
No, she actually didn't. I mean, I don't know if you want to share a little bit of like what you mean by that.
Okay.
I didn't assume they were free.
Oh,
You know what I
well,
mean?
of course not.
Yeah.
No, man, come on.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and mention. Let's break it down. So that's one thing. So I know we talked earlier about like the NBA stuff.
Right.
Okay, down here it's so hard to get sponsored from our local.
Businesses?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good point.
They will not sponsor you, brother. It's hard. It's really hard. And I always say the same thing. I'm like, just why not? Like, especially if we're gonna go out of the valley to go compete.
Yeah.
Why not support someone coming from your hometown? Like, hey, help out. Like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
If I owned a business and I saw someone, actually training their butt off, like, hey,
Putting in the work.
yeah, I'm like, hey, I respect you, man. Like, whether you win, lose, draw, I'm here's what I can do to help you. That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
But down here, it's not like that, man. That's one of the biggest pet peeves I've got, and I just like, that's why I don't even ask. I don't bother asking because I know for a fact, like, If I seen others do try it in the past and they were more known than I was, yeah, they ain't gonna help me out. It sucks. But let me break it down to you. So there's entry fees that you got to pay before you could even compete. You have to pay for your NPC card. The NPC card is like basically your ticket to even compete in that. So whether it's bodybuilding, bikini, wellness, there's so many different classes there. So whatever you're going to compete in, you have to get that card. So you can be registered for the year. It covers a full year of competition. So you pay for that. That's 200 already. That's 200 out of your pocket. Boom. All right. Whether your prep is 3, 4, 5 months, however long your prep is, you have to pay your coach.
Correct.
So you got to pay your coach. That's dude that's teaching you, telling you what to do, what to eat, what supplements to take, how to take them. Little things like that matter. So you're learning. So that's a good amount of money, bro. Let's just do this. For example, 4-month prep. And let's just say your coach charges you $200 every month.
Okay.
First of the month. For 4 months.
$800.
$800. Add that on top of the NPC card.
200. That's 1,000 so far.
Well, that's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Yeah.
All right. So for women, it's a little bit more expensive, but for men, it's around the same. The big difference is that women have to do their makeup.
Right.
That's a little bit extra. Girls like to do their nails and they want to look all pretty. Right. Those are extras, but they're required for women. So going back to the money part here, $800 plus the NPC card. That's a lot of money. Okay. Let's go back to the 4 months of prep. The food. That's the most important part. The food. How much money are you spending on food? I go to the grocery store at least once a week, maybe twice. I run out of egg whites. Like, oh damn, again. Well, you better have a Sam's Club card, or you better have a Costco something, bro. Because you're gonna be making a couple of visits. So buy in bulk, guys. Buy in bulk. The money on the food is crazy. If I were to add up how much money I spent on food from just the weeks I've been on prep already, boy, it's up there. Yeah. Let's throw $400 out there.
Okay.
Let's for example, $400 on top of the 800, on top of the 200. Now, how many classes are you competing in? So for me, for example, I'm doing men's open bodybuilding. So I'm paying for the bantamweight for that class, and I'm also gonna pay. This year I'm doing classic physique. Classic physique is more the old school Arnold type of look. You know what I mean? Like, I know the posing trunks are different. They're all black. That's that one class where you cannot wear he's wearing red trunks, or he's wearing this or that different color.
They're all black.
Everyone's wearing black.
Okay.
It's that one look they're looking for. It's more of the aesthetic-y class per se. So I'm doing that one this year. So I might do novice and I might do another one. So each class is $100, son.
That's another $200 if you do two, of course.
If you do two.
Yeah.
If you do two. So I could do novice and then I could do an open. And then that's not aside from the bodybuilding one I'm doing as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're both still bodybuilding, but they're just separate classes. Yeah. So, let's just say, for example, $300 there. Or I believe it's $150 per class. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to where were we?
So you're at around 1,700 right now, maybe 1,800.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Dang.
Tanning. You got to make sure you get that covered because everyone needs to tan. Mm-hmm. The tanning is covered. $100, $200 probably. The least is like 120, I believe, 128. Tanning, okay. The travel cost. This show is in Dallas. We are in the Valley.
That's true.
Who's paying for gas? Who's paying for gas? Especially right now. Gas ain't cheap, fellas.
Yeah.
Are you flying? Who's paying for the ticket? Are you staying at a hotel?
I was gonna say, what about?
Are you staying at a hotel? I was blessed to stay at a family member's house. My brother-in-law, his sister lives in, like super close, like maybe like 20 minutes away from the convention center in Dallas. So for that first time going to Dallas, like I was blessed.
Yeah.
This time around, we might do something like that, but I actually want to stay at the hotel that's connected to the convention center.
Yeah.
So I can just wake up, walk to the lobby, and
Make it easier.
and I'm already there. So if you add up all the money, dude, that's a lot of money, dude.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Just to compete.
Okay, think about it like this: just to compete, and you don't know if you're gonna win.
Exactly.
You don't know if you're gonna win. Homeboy could show up and just be peeled, and then you're like, oh, oh man, I was not expecting him to show up. Yeah. So it's all just for the opportunity to compete and do something you love.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone's trying to present their best package. Like, I want to look good. So that's why right now the prep stage is so important because you're doing everything you can. You're sacrificing hours of sleep. Whether you're waking up 5 a.m. Some people start their day at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. Do your fasted cardio, whether it's 45 minutes, an hour. Do that. Go back home. Shower. Eat breakfast. Do you work? If you're working, you have to balance your day out with the Not to mention, well, I'm using myself as an example. It's just for example. Like I wake up 5 a.m. do my cardio. I know my sister was doing it like that for her last comp, and I was like, yo, you're tough.
Yeah.
Excuse me. She would wake up at 4 a.m. By 5 a.m., her Instagram story, I already had her on the treadmill. I was like, damn. Yeah, but, it's a commitment. You're disciplined.
Yeah.
Not being able to eat around, if your family goes to a fancy restaurant, you cannot eat what they're eating. You have to take your food. Ask the nice little waiter, hey, you guys can microwave my food? Yeah, bro. It's hard, bro. It's tough. Temptation's always there. And what I mean by that is the food.
Yeah. Biggest part, huh?
Yeah, it's stuff the eating. Like, oh.
When's the last time you ate Whataburger, though?
Huh?
When was the last time you ate Whataburger?
No, why you ask me that? Yeah, out here looking chunky, boy.
Nah, bro. Do you like Whataburger?
Oh, I love Whataburger, bro.
Well, when was the last time?
Oh, boy.
Years ago.
No. Of course not. No, bro. Come on.
Not yet.
I want to say... no. Come on, bro. Let me just think. Around December.
Okay.
December. Yeah. Obviously, I wasn't prepping for the show. I had already recently competed. I was in off season. I was eating,
I love Whataburger, man.
Oh, I love it too, bro. What do you get?
Oh, honestly, right off the top of my head, I get the patty melt, right? Oh. Wait, I get the patty melt.
Go ahead.
I get patty melt. I do like to switch the buns to regular buns.
Right?
What? Yeah. And then I'll get no onions, and I'll tell them easy on the sauce, right? Easy, because I don't like too much sauce. It gets messy real quick.
Can never be too much sauce.
You know what I mean? And then I tell them, can you toast the buns a little bit?
Toast the buns.
They toast the buns, and most of the time I do like to get the water size. But I don't go very often, so when I go, right? And then, I'm on diet, right? So, diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but that's literally my go-to every single time.
Can I get Diet Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, right at the end of that.
So I can feel good about myself, you know what I mean? But I will water size that, though.
Yeah.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
You're a Florida native, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is new to you.
Yeah, well, when I came, for sure.
You were like, oh. Have you ever heard about Whataburger?
Nah, I mean, I had grandparents here that we would visit, but I don't remember that long before.
Yo, that's interesting, bro. Yeah. That's really interesting.
A lot of people don't understand, people from back home that maybe haven't run into a Whataburger. Whataburger's different out here, man.
What do you think about In-N-Out?
Yeah, compared to Whataburger?
In general.
In-N-Out's honestly, out of 10, I give it like a 6.5. That's my honest, truest opinion. I've done that. I've thought about that hundreds of times.
Have you compared those two?
Oh, Whataburger just blows it. It blows it out of the water. 100%.
I'm gonna tell you what I ate.
If somebody was like, I'll give you $100 to eat In-N-Out over Whataburger, I couldn't do it.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I got you. But I will mention my meal because I know you mentioned yours.
Yeah.
I get a triple meat, triple cheese with grilled jalapenos, no onions. Add bacon, add avocado, and I will water size that. Best believe, boy, I'm gonna water size that. And then when I pull up to the window, and like 1623, sir. Like, oh, here you go. Yeah, bro.
$16 for your meal.
Yeah, bro. It's a big burger, bro. And I love cutting it in half, and I open it, boy.
Yeah.
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 But since you mentioned the patty melt,
Yeah.
I love the patty melt.
Yeah.
I've never switched to buns. That's interesting. What I do is I take the grilled onions out.
No, 100%.
I take them out.
You don't ask for it off. You just take it out yourself.
No. I asked for. Come on, bro.
I thought you like opened them, but you like.
Nah, I ain't gonna work. Nah,
Yeah.
that's too much work for me, bro. No. I ain't gonna go dissect the burger.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, no onions, please. I'll add grilled jalapenos.
Yeah.
Add grilled jalapenos to the patty melt, sir. Sir.
Yeah.
Some serious business right there.
Yeah.
To drink, can't go wrong with the power. I always get the Powerade. But
You like, is it a blue Powerade, right?
red.
It's red? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's man, Whataburger, man, it holds a special place in my heart,
For
bro.
sure. It always will. I mean, I hate that I like it that much because I like it a lot, and I've been good recently. I've been good. But at one point, whenever like I didn't care and I was eating anything, it was Whataburger at least 3 times a week.
Oh, for sure. I know a lot of people like,
You know?
I feel that a lot of people tend to do a lot of people work full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And I understand. But the one thing I will not like accept is when people tell me, hey, it's because like you get to go to the gym. Like, no. I'm working 2 jobs. I work 2 jobs and I still manage my money to be able to do what I have to do. So if I can do it with the time I have in my hands, you can too. You just have to be disciplined enough to wake up early.
Yeah.
Start your day off. I promise you, if you start your day off early and you go to the gym, you would feel so much better.
I agree.
You feel like you already did something successful. Like you already started off on a good foot.
I agree.
So,
yeah, 100%. And I say that because I've recently been I've done that probably for the last like 9 months, where I've been able to go to the gym, like try to get there like around 6:30. Get
consistently.
Yeah, and it's turned out very well. Makes you feel better. Let me ask you this: do you do cold showers?
Cold showers?
Oh, you don't do cold
Nah,
showers?
come on, man.
Really?
Nah.
Okay, so you work out in the mornings, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, just one time, like if it crosses your mind, take a cold shower, right? And literally, and I want you to compare it to how you usually feel when you take a regular shower, because I'm assuming you take a hot shower in the morning, right? Like we all do most of the time.
Oh, so you do take hot showers?
Oh, for sure. I just started like the cold shower thing like 2.5 weeks ago, and and in 2.5 weeks I've only missed one morning, and that's because I was getting late for work and I like whatever.
Really?
But 2.5 weeks in, like with cold showers, for me, it's been like a game changer.
What did it change?
Okay, so for the biggest part, right? So I'm a sleeper. Like I like to sleep a lot, unfortunately, and like I usually feel like I want to. Like without energy for the most part. So when I started taking cold showers, that's one thing that it literally eliminated. Like after the cold shower, like I felt up, energized, alert for sure, and that at least carried me over for like probably to like 2:00, right?
Oh.
With no hesitation at all.
Oh.
And
damn.
Yeah, and I feel like just better overall. You feel, for the biggest part, I think it's gonna be the alertness, the boost of energy. And then it's supposed to statistically also reduce stress and things like that, anxiety, if you have any. It's massive health benefits to cold showers as well.
That is, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, I've been in a hot shower and it turns cold. All of a sudden, like whoa.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
I've tried it one time. I was watching the what was it, Joe Rogan podcast. He had Dr. Rhonda Patrick talking about like the benefits of a sauna.
Yeah.
I think it's the same episode talking about him getting in the cold shower. Like some of the stuff you just said, it's true. It's true. Studies show that there's things that there's beneficial aspects of taking a cold shower.
Yeah.
So, I mean, me personally, bro, like
no, and I was just like you. I was like, But I was like, maybe there's a solution for me to feel better in the mornings. And I'm real big on the mornings, right?
Morning.
It's like if you can crush your morning, then you're gonna crush the rest of the day, or at the bare minimum, handle the rest of your day.
Right.
So I mean, I didn't start like freezing, jump in, right? It was like I had it warm, I shower for whatever long it took, and then I break it down, right? So now I'm at a point where I jump in, I only have it hot or warm, not even warm, like less than warm for like 45 seconds.
Okay.
Right. And then I'll put a quote, and then I'll do it for the rest of the shower. 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
That's interesting.
And I promise you, it's almost euphoric. Like,
oh yeah.
Like if I really hope that whoever listens to this podcast really like just considers it.
I'm gonna try it.
Try it out. Now, what I don't want you to do is be discouraged like after the first. Like whenever you do it, pick a time, 30 seconds. You don't even have to do a minute, minute and a half. Say, okay, when I turn this code, I carry my stopwatch with me in the shower.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it for 30 seconds or whatever you decide. A minute and a half. And when you're done, you have to. No one can deny that you don't feel better than you usually do, and that's what's mind blowing to me. So I started doing that. I haven't missed a morning yet.
That's interesting, bro. The whole little like slowly.
Yeah.
I do that, but to the hot.
Yeah.
Like, I do that, but to the hot. Like I want to see how much I can take.
Yeah.
I'm like burning up, steam in the I like hot showers, like super hot, bro. Like when I'm like, oh damn, this is what hell feels like. Yeah. Cold showers, I've tried it once, in a really, really, really hot day, like the summer. You've been here?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. Like it's summer. I know Florida's hot too, but damn,
it's nasty out here.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, you're like dry hot, or I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. But yeah, on a hot day, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll jump in.
For sure.
And all the way cold and do it, man. A little head and shoulders, a little whatever, boom. I do feel good. Yeah. Only on hot days.
Yeah.
But I will try that tomorrow for sure, because I wanna start the day off good and
let me know. Like I really do. If you do it, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's gonna do it for sure. But if you do,
no, I am gonna do it.
Okay. Let me know. Like send me a message. Hey, I hated it. It didn't make a difference. Or hey, I see where you're coming from, kind of thing.
Okay.
And what I do want people to understand is I don't take a cold shower at night.
Oh.
No. There's like for me, there's no reason.
To. Wait, for what?
Yeah. So it's like I take my showers in the morning.
Okay.
My cold shower, and I also take a shower at night, but I do it with warm water.
Okay.
To get ready for bed, relax, and whatnot. So.
Oh, do you any what do you call them? Essential oils?
Not yet. No.
Bro, lavender, bro, eucalyptus. Those two right there mixed together in a diffuser.
Okay. Oh, you mean like in the room?
Oh yeah,
okay,
for sure.
Yeah.
I know you can rub some on you, but nah. I honestly feel like if you have a diffuser, guys, trust me, or they probably already know.
Yeah.
It was actually my ex's mom that taught me about that. I was like, yo, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it relaxed. It's really relaxing.
I'll definitely have to try that for sure.
So it smells really, really good too.
Yeah.
So it's not a girl thing. It's
No. For sure. No, I have to try that out, man. So yeah, give that a shot. Let me know how it goes.
For sure.
And guys, if anybody's listening, and if you do take a cold shower because you heard it on the podcast, let me know how it goes in the comments. Reach out to me and be like, hey, I heard your podcast. And I took a cold shower, and this is how it went. Like, I really, man, if there's one thing that I can just, like, suggest to at least give someone a better chance at a better morning is a cold shower. So
For sure.
But, yeah, man, I think it's a good time to wrap it up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
We're about an hour and 20 in, so that's pretty solid.
That is solid.
Yeah.
It went by like that, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But Rose, right?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming out, man. I honestly, massively grateful. And if any time that you want to come back, obviously you're more than welcome.
For sure.
Anything else you want to say to the listener before we go?
I probably will say this though.
Yeah. Don't probably say it.
No. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about coming back after the competition.
Perfect.
To share, my experience. Obviously, my show is actually be June 18th.
Okay.
So the same show as I did the first time. Obviously, I'm 12 weeks out right now. but I want to come back after, you know, I probably would come back after the show to see, you know, like, oh, hey, this is how it went, you know, full on details. And maybe, you know, every day something new happens. So
For sure.
you just never know.
Yeah.
But for sure, guys, hey, wish me luck, guys, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I actually, you know, I would like the support, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll put your IG handle, like I've been doing in the past videos, like right under you, for the people to follow you and reach out and support. And man, I wish you the best of luck. I mean, I know you got some serious discipline, so I know you're gonna crush it. And regardless of what happens, I mean, the experience that you're about to, you know, receive again is essentially what I like to call priceless in its own.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, man. Anything else?
That's all I got right now, brother.
Good. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to another episode of the A7E podcast. This is your host, Jiggadrin. Guys, please be sure to drop a like, a comment, share it with someone. I know this was a little bit different conversation. I enjoy the conversation a lot, man. I love going different routes, and
for sure.
this was a good conversation. All right, guys. Peace.